Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's about time I've done some kind of channel update, where I'm at, what I expect for the future, and I figured why not now, right as the new meta is about to start, and what to expect for the New York Napoleon, for the TBL, and in my opinion for the future of Wi-Fi draft as a whole. I am known around the community as someone with strong opinions, somebody who has different opinions than most of the community does, and someone who shares those opinions with abandon. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is that I think we're going back to 20-minute timer on Wi-Fi. Everyone's going to be doing it. I think that's better for Wi-Fi. I think LAN is the reason that we lost the Wi-Fi scene. I don't think it's because the timer was a chess timer. I think the chess timer was a good idea. I think it's that it sounded really complicated to new players. Nobody wanted to join the Wi-Fi scene. And when new players or when old players and experienced players were using it, anytime they had trouble, they complained about it. And the problem with that, and I'm certainly not immune to having done that. I am the one who probably was the loudest of anybody about why LAN was a problem and why I didn't like it. But the reason that that's a problem is it really turns people off who are thinking about getting into the scene. And I think the fact that there were substantial, obvious problems and a high obvious barrier to entry, even if it was not a high cost barrier to entry, there was a time commitment and there was like a understanding about like programming that sounded like it was there, even if it wasn't there. And I think the reason that the Wi-Fi community died is because the players who were so committed to Wi-Fi aged out, which happened before. We've had that happen and the Wi-Fi community survived. The problem is the people that came to replace them didn't, because we as players made them not feel welcomed, not because we did anything wrong, but because we as players didn't like the system we were using and didn't make it sound fun to get into the scene. And I stand by the fact that that is itself a huge problem. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is that we're going back 20-minute timer. And why do I think that's actually the potential savior for the Wi-Fi community? Because it's new, because people are going to have to readjust, and because the old faces that have seemed like the pillars of the Wi-Fi community who have dominated the Wi-Fi community in all ways may start to lose because they aren't used to that timer. Not to mention a lot of them are aging out of the community or retiring, and I wish everybody well in retirement. But I do think, genuinely think, that going into 20-minute timer, allowing for people to try out a new system will bring in new faces, and will have those new faces see substantial success where old faces have always had it. And those old faces may get frustrated that they aren't seeing the same levels of success they were seeing on LAN timer, on 60-minute timer, and that's okay. It's a new meta. It's fine for new faces to rise to the top of the new meta. In fact, I would love if I, as a person, became not a very high level draft league player because other people figured out the meta better than me. I think that's really interesting. I think it builds a new community. I think it showcases new possible talent. I think it lets people in and lets them see that they can play at a high level even when they don't have 5 years of experience on YouTube. I think that's huge. I think that's incredibly huge. Not to mention, joining an online union code with other people in Scarlet and Violet is super easy, and getting into a battle with them is super easy, which means it's going to be fast and not difficult for people to join into battles. And that's just going to make everything go faster. And I think the faster things go and the easier, the lower there is to be things for it to be difficult, I think the better it's going to be for the community. And I do think Wi-Fi is at an all-time low. Well, Wi-Fi draft league scene specifically is an all-time low. It's either going to die or it's going to be recovered completely from its previous existence in the end of Sword and Shield. With this new meta, I think this is positive. I think LAN killed Wi-Fi, and I think 20-minute timer has a chance to bring it back, which is super not the opinion that a lot of my colleagues and other people that are my generation of players think, but I do genuinely believe that that is the case. And if you have anything you want to say, please say it in the comments. I wanted to get that out first because I thought it was the most interesting point that I was going to talk about today. And I know a lot of people will click off the video now, and I'd rather, honestly, there's the view count thing where you're just I want everyone to watch till the end because I'm going to talk about the super controversial thing. No, I'm going to talk about the controversial thing first. Go write your comments, ignore the next 10 minutes of what I'm saying, and you'll be fine. Because the next 10 minutes only matter to the people who actually want to watch me specifically, but I want that discussion to be in the community period. I would love for people to be talking about that. So the New York Napoleon are not done. We have taken a long hiatus on YouTube, but we are still kicking. We played on the TBL. Unfortunately, didn't go as well as we wanted. Finished getting kicked out in the quarterfinals. The finals are going to be taking place later this week, this weekend actually, when this video goes live. So don't have the exact date scheduled yet. Unfortunately, the players are being a little bit cagey about that, which is not ideal. But finals will be taking place sometime Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of this weekend, which is you know, just around the corner. Check that out. TBL Twitch channel, links in the description below. But New York Napoleon will not be featured in that. Instead, the New York Napoleon have already drafted our first Scarlet tournament. Not exactly a league. It's only 4 weeks long before playoffs, so it's not like we're gonna get a ton of time with this team. And it's like everything's legal. So it's like very much like new toys, go have fun, see what happens. So Terra's legal, like all like Fluttermane's legal, Palafin's legal, like all the best mods are legal. So we'll talk about our draft and stuff over there. Once videos start coming out, that will be a YouTube league. So I will be streaming it to Twitch. And then I will also be posting those videos to YouTube with my standard amount of editing and the things that people come to expect from my YouTube videos. Additionally, the next season of the TBL is certainly not in the works yet. We haven't even finished this season of the TBL, but the TBL is changing itself. And I want to talk about some of the stuff that's happening before the next season of the TBL comes out, because that's going to just fall into a timeline. The TBL is changing. So what is happening with the TBL? The Twitch Battle League is no longer just a draft league. I don't think that's sustainable, and I don't think it's fun for a Twitch channel to only be something that happens twice a year for like 3 months. And so what I want to do is make the Twitch channel a Twitch channel that streams to Twitch a lot. I am, starting after the TBL finishes, shifting a huge portion, if not all, of my own personal Pokemon content on Twitch to the TBL channel. I will very rarely be streaming Pokemon to my own channel. My own channel will still be streaming. I want to be streaming Fire Emblem, new Engage games coming out in January. I want to be streaming other games. Like I just played XCOM and had a really good time with that. I want to like play other games that I really want to play. And I want to stream them for people. And so I will be changing my own channel over to a non-specifically Pokemon channel. There will still be Pokemon content there occasionally. I'll still be doing viewer battles over there sometimes. But most of my Pokemon content, most of my viewer battles, most of my breeding streams, my raids, and everything else will be shifting over to the TBL channel. So if you want to continue to watch any of that or get onto raids or get into any of that, the TBL channel is the place to go. And I'm growing it beyond myself. Finally, I have people who want to do things on the TBL channel outside of the league. So here are the starting cast of people right off the bat who will be joining the TBL as their own content creators. Don't know the schedule yet, but starting after the conclusion of the TBL, this season, the actual like season 8 of the TBL, which is still going to be contained in the TBL, and it's going to be a little bit confusing, but on the channel, on the Twitch Battle League channel, the following people will be doing some events every once in a while. So Daria, Miss Darzard, will be hosting VGC streams, both breeding teams and explaining new like on Showdown, like explaining how methodology works, and viewer battles, I believe, and laddering of VGC. Probably about, and all these you should assume will be about once a week once we start up with that, but it'll take a couple of weeks to get it all started, probably after the holidays, to be fair, just to give people time to get things going and figure out everything that's going to happen. So Daria has said she's willing to do that. I know that Finfin, Josh, who you've come to know and love, has been willing to help out with the TBL, has not come up with what he wants to be exactly contributing yet. Maybe just more raids and viewer battles, things like that. Maybe he'll be doing Nuzlocke, maybe something else. But some content over on the TBL channel he'll be doing, again, probably about once a week. And then I will be, again, streaming my Pokemon streams over there once or twice a week as well, doing viewer raids, viewer battles for singles, prepping for draft leagues, stuff like that. Or helping other people prep. I've done that before. I think it's really fun on stream to help people prep, to talk through sets and ideas and stuff. To give people mocks and stuff just like on stream. I know it's like awkward because you're like, what if their opponent watches? Look, when the TBL gets big enough for everyone's opponent to be watching the TBL, we've made it. I don't care. Until then, I don't have a problem with it, and I don't think anyone else has ever had an issue with it either. Yeah, don't prep for a TBL battle on the TBL channel. That's about it. A lot of other leagues have a lot of people who don't watch. So that's probably one thing that I'll be contributing over there, be mock battles, be prepping for draft league battles of my own, be doing viewer raids and viewer single battles, stuff like that. And then Yahoodles has also offered to jump in and wants to do a VGC tournament once a month. The way this works, the way that tournament would work is that we will have some threshold, and anyone who wants to can enter at the end of their month what their elo on the ladder was, and on the actual in-game ladder. And if you are in the top whatever number we choose, 8, 16 people in the community who have submitted that you want to join, at the end of the month, so you basically say at the beginning of the month, like, I want to join for this month, and you just play on ladder as much as you want. And at the end of the month, you just say what your elo is on the ladder, and the top however many will get into a top cut tournament that we will stream. And we will do like best of 3 single elimination, which sounds super weird to me, but that's what it's called, I guess. So like standard VGC, it's just you play a best of 3 set, and then you're eliminated, you seed it based on the elos, and then you just play it out. And it's like one afternoon, you get all the people together, try to play out this tournament. And yeah, so we'll be telling everyone at the beginning of the month like what the date is. So if you want to join for that month, be available on that date, and then spend whatever time you want, grinding out to try to be whatever seed you want, and then try to do that. So we'll be doing some VGC tournaments, some just VGC viewer streams, some singles viewer streams, and then of course we will be running the TBL itself, the actual like draft league version of it, which will be probably coming out late February, early March will be when I hope to get it started. And it'll run through about June, which is like perfect for me because I'm potentially moving in July. I know I'm moving in July. I'm probably not staying in this apartment, so not having to do anything like over July would be nice. And then we'll probably run some sort of summer league as usual, in addition to all the other content that should still be there. It may raise or lower depending based on the season. And then of course we'll run the next TBL season. And so what I want to do is turn the TBL into a channel that has content all the time instead of just content when the league is active. And it should have content at like 4 times a week with different people. I know I have other people who are still in the works, so you might see other names come up as well of people who will be joining in for those streams. But no individual is going to be forced to stream like 5 times a week, even though the TBL will hopefully have content about 4 times, 5 times a week. Which I think is actually really helpful for everybody, because it's like, oh, you get your one stream. I did one stream, but the TBL got much like substantial content out of it. So check that out. Pokemon content, competitive Pokemon content for singles, draft, VGC will all be taking place on the Twitch Battle League Twitch channel. Link again in the description, as I mentioned before. Same place, the finals for the actual TBL Draft League Season 8 will be taking place this weekend. Will also be built into having tons of content. And yeah, lastly, I kind of skipped over this. I probably should have talked about it before, but the New York Empoleon will be joining the PBAL Season 10 All-Stars season, which will be a Scarlet and Violet League. We will be joining a draft league run by Brendan. I think it's called the DDL. And then the TBL, obviously. So I try not to run be in more than 2 leagues at a time, but I may be in 3 come like March. So just a heads up on that. But yeah, I am not retiring from Draft League. I am still very much in it. I am still playing and active and enjoying it, and will be going back to YouTube content. It's just that I took a break at the end of Season 8 or the end of Generation 8, where there were no more YouTube leagues being played really, and I didn't feel like uploading different content to YouTube. My YouTube channel will still be almost exclusively Draft League. I don't expect it to grow at all because of that. I don't have any plans to start uploading playthroughs of games to YouTube. That's going to be a Twitch thing. And if they're really super entertaining on Twitch and I'm just like getting lots of views, then yeah, I'll upload them to YouTube in addition to Draft League content. But for now, I don't have any plans to do that for YouTube. I just wanted to talk today about my plans for changing the TBL channel entirely. I want it to be completely Pokemon-centric, like competitive Pokemon-centric, and the Draft League to be one small part instead of it being exclusively a Draft League Twitch channel. And thankfully, I have a ton of friends in the community who are willing to help out and join me there. And again, if I'm not lazy and you guys all saw the nice little graphic that came up with everyone's name, you may have seen names I didn't mention. I apologize to those individuals, but I didn't know at the time that I'm recording this that was something that I was guaranteeing that you would do, and I knew what you would commit to doing. So bear that in mind. So if you saw anyone there that you didn't know or I didn't say, like, again, that doesn't mean that's more accurate than I am if it's different from what I said. And I think that's it for today. I just wanted to talk to you about how I think LAN killed Wi-Fi. And I've stood by the fact that I've hated LAN. And I have gotten to the point where I am actually thrilled that there is no LAN in Scarlet and Violet. Let's go to 20-minute timer. Let's play Pokemon. And let's focus on playing Pokemon. The meta is so fast. It's absurd. The animations are very fast. I don't think 20-minute timer is going to be as much of a problem as everyone thinks it is. Just prep better. I mean, that's my take on it. It's a super hot take, right? Like, if you prep better, you can just win. But like, if you are preparing for 20-minute timer by drafting in that way, and then also by like building a team that is built for it, then you'll be fine. It's a big part of it is how quickly you can make your moves. It's not about whether or not you use a certain type or style of play. It's about, can I make my moves quickly enough to win the game, to have enough moves to win the game. So anyway, if there's anything else you want to hear from me, post in the comments. I will respond to all the comments or make another video if there's enough of them. Remember, LAN killed Wi-Fi, 20-minute is better, and we are going back to it, and that is going to save the format. TBL's growing at an exponential rate. I would love to run another like one of those big TBL tournaments at some point, either for singles and draft or for like VGC. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you are all excited for the future of the TBL. Go follow it, please. If you subscribe to my channel, or if you follow my YouTube or my Twitch channel, I would encourage you to go over there. It's just worth it. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.